I hate when people make that bullshit narrative of where you're a top scoring guy because you're on a losing team. That actually makes that shit way harder. Like if you're the only guy teams are focused on a nightly basis, and you still go out there and average 30, that's harder to do than a guy that has a Steph Curry.
Now, this is a great conversation to have because this is one of those things in basketball that everybody just accepts as the truth and nobody ever really questions it. Now, in basketball, everybody's favorite person to discredit is the person who puts up great numbers, but they're on a bad team. As soon as you see this, the first thing somebody's going to say is, well, I mean, somebody got to score it. Basically, this is a way to write it off as if what that person is doing is easy, when in reality, it's not. Now, if you watch Gil's Arena, you know half the time they end up having two completely different arguments at the same time. So the main point that Boogie and Gil are arguing is that as the number one option, it's a lot harder to score as a one-man band compared to when you have teammates that the defense actually has to worry about and they can't all just lock in on you, which I 1000% agree with. KD wanted to go to the Warriors for a reason. When Luka got to LA, first thing he said is, nah, I need live threats and shooters. Number one option scorers, they like to be surrounded by other threats. Now, the other side of the coin is that as a number one option on a bad team, you can take any and every shot you want. So they're looking at it as more shots equals more points, which isn't always the truth. The truth is that more good shots equals more points. Because at the end of the day, being a person on the team that's just running around gunning, taking bad shots, 9 times out of 10, you're missing those bad shots. You just taking a bunch of shots because you don't feel like passing it. That doesn't mean you're going to average 30. It takes real talent to average 30. So I think the most important word of this whole argument is the word easy. Because the truth is there's no such thing as an easy 30 when there's 5 people guarding you. And a lot of times it really comes down to how you feel about the person that's scoring. Because nobody would ever fix their lips and say what Kobe was doing on the Lakers was easy. When he was on that team after Shaq left and he ain't have nothing but Smush Parker and he was scoring 81 and 50 and 40 every single night, that was not easy. And nobody will ever dare question Kobe's ability. Same way they wouldn't question Mike when he was young, getting up crazy numbers, but his team was losing. But as soon as somebody like Bradley Beal does it, then all of a sudden it's, somebody got to score. But in reality, Bradley Beal is just an amazing basketball player. Because the Wizards are still a bad team and ain't nobody else average 30 over there. That's not something that just happens. Only talented players are going to put up crazy numbers when given the opportunity. LaMelo Ball isn't putting up the numbers he's putting up right now because he's on a bad team. He's doing it because he's LaMelo Ball.